I know that you don't follow every aspect of political campaigns, and many of you do know that when I was in a very, very tough primary, a very close fight in New Hampshire, the first state, as you know, I called up Joe and asked him if he would support me. And you know, it takes courage to cross the aisle. It takes courage to get involved in a primary. It takes courage to stand up for what you believe in. And Joe Lieberman is one of the most courageous men I've ever had the honor of knowing, and one of the most decent ones as well. And how can I go without mentioning my mother, who is 96 years young? Raised our family for years in the absence of my father, who was at sea doing his nation's business. And I have one brief, there are many stories, as Joe said. 2 Christmases ago, I believe it was, my mother wanted to drive around France, so she flew to Paris, and she tried to rent a car. They told her she was too old, so she bought a car and drove around France. That, if anybody, those are the genes I've got, my friends. And congratulations to the Phillies for a great victory last night. We'll see them in the World Series. Now, my friends, I'd like to give you a little straight talk today, and the first item is what you know. The state of Pennsylvania, again, will decide who's the next president of the United States. I need your vote. We've got to carry Pennsylvania. We will carry Pennsylvania. We must fight for this state, and we need your help. We need your help. The close race, my friends, and before I go any further, I'd like to recognize, you know, there has been some comments about people who come to our rallies. I cannot tell you how proud I am of all of you. I cannot tell you how proud I am of every working man and woman who's here, every family member. And could I also take a special moment to recognize those who have served in the military of the United States of America and their families, and I thank you. Thank you. My friends, we had a good debate last night. It was a lot of fun. You know, I thought I did pretty well. The real winner last night was Joe the plumber. Joe's the man. He won, and small businesses won across America. They won because the American people are not going to let Senator Obama raise their taxes in a tough economy. They're not going to let him do it, my friends. Small businesses provide 16 million jobs in America, and Americans know that raising taxes on small business will kill those jobs at a time when we need to be creating more jobs in America. Create more jobs. And by the way, how about that running mate of mine? Isn't she just marvelous? Isn't she just a great, great person? I'm so proud of her. You know, I've noticed that the Georgetown cocktail circuit doesn't like her very much, but we love her out in America. We love her. But you know what? As you might recall, I related last night, Senator Obama had an encounter with Joe the plumber, out in Ohio, another battleground state. And you know, Joe the plumber said, look, I've been working all my life, 10, 12 hours. I want to buy the business that I'm in, but you're going to raise my taxes. And you know what Senator Obama had to say to Joe? He wanted to spread his wealth around. He wanted to spread his wealth around. Now, what does that mean? He wants government to take Joe's money and give it to somebody else. His hard-earned dollars. We're not going to stand for that. America didn't become the greatest nation on earth by spreading the wealth. We became the greatest nation on earth by creating new wealth. So this is the choice we face. 3 weeks from now, you will choose a new president. Choose well. There is much at stake. Now, my friends, I've got to give you a little straight talk, because here in the heartland in Pennsylvania, we got to have straight talk. These are hard times. Our economy. I need to have a conversation with you for a few minutes here. Our economy is in crisis. Financial markets are collapsing. Credit is drying up. Your savings are in danger. Your retirement is at risk. Jobs are disappearing. The cost of health care, your children's college, gasoline, and groceries are rising all the time with no end in sight, while your most important asset, your home, is losing value every day. Americans are fighting in 2 wars. We face many enemies in this dangerous world, and they're waiting to see if our current troubles will permanently weaken us. The next president won't have time to get used to the office. He won't have the luxury of studying up on the issues before he acts. He will have to act immediately. To do that, he will need experience, courage, judgment, and a bold plan of action to take this country in a new direction. We can't spend the next 4 years, as we've spent much of the last 8, waiting for our luck to change. As I mentioned last night to Senator Obama, I'm not George Bush. If he wanted to run against George Bush, he should have run 4 years ago. I'll take us in a new direction. My friends, the hour is late. Our troubles are getting worse. Our enemies watch. We'll have to act immediately, and we need that new direction now, and we have to fight. And that's what America's all about, and that's what I'll do for you. I've been fighting for this country since I was 17 years old, and I've got the scars to prove it. If I'm elected president, I'll take the fight to America in a new direction from my first day in office until my last. I'm not afraid of the fight. I'm ready for it. I'm not going to spend $700 billion of your money just bailing out the Wall Street bankers and brokers